Hello everybody, welcome to day 4 of Drawing for 100 Days. For those returning, thank you very much for coming back for another day. I really do appreciate it. And for those who are new, you can watch the other videos if you want to, but I'm sure you guys get the gist. Draw for 100 days, keep myself consistent, and this is day 4. So, today you can tell it's going to be a little bit of a different format. Usually I have a speed drawing in the background where then I talk over it and just talk about the drawing itself and my day. Today we're going to forego what happened today because I don't think I have a lot of news to share. Well, I actually do have one thing to share. I did have a wicked Magic the Gathering game today where I dealt 63 damage to my opponent and won the game on the very last turn I'm supposed to, and it was a sick play. Some would say that is enough for an eventful day to talk about it in a video, but I digress. I think I want to delegate most of the time for the drawing itself. So why is this drawing so important? Why is this drawing not finished or not lined? Because it is still my practice. It is still my drawing for the day. I do think it does constitute enough of a practice to be submitted for day 4. But why are we staring at it instead of having a time lapse or having a speed draw? Which, by the way, the time lapse, the Clip Studio time lapse, will still show up at the end of this video. So I think it's not bad. I don't want to say it's bad, but I do intend on every single one of these sketches to be an earnest attempt to draw the best I can, because I feel like the more I stretch myself to my uncomfortable in these uncomfortable areas, and the more I constantly try to draw at my best, I'll get used to being at this specific state. That could be wrong, that could be right, whatever. Regardless, while I'm drawing this and, trying to make the best I can't help but feel that this drawing is inherently imbalanced. And I don't know why. I can't explain it. The running theory that I have is that the features are off just slightly, and I think the way I drew the mouth and the nose is just slightly off, to where when I flip it or when I reduce the opacity and then add the line art, it's slightly imbalanced. Now, I could be tweaking, I could be wrong, I could be having this weird vision of the drawing since I've been staring at it for an hour to 2 hours now. And so part of this video is going to be me asking if you guys can give any input as to say, like, am I right? Am I wrong? Do you guys see it? Do you guys not? But for some reason, I can't remove this running feeling that it's imbalanced in some way. And also, the reference that I'm using to draw it is fundamentally much more different. The head is leaned a lot forward and the body curves this way. The body points 100% towards, like, it kind of curves like this. If there was like a line of action for the drawing, this is a line here where if we're following one leg, it's going this way, where the reference itself is actually more like this, where the other leg curves backwards like that. So it is already quite different from the reference. So it might be a combination of looking at the reference, knowing that what it's supposed to be, while the actual output is very much different from the reference. So that could also be a factor into why I see it so weirdly, see it so oddly, and why I think it's very bad. I wouldn't say very bad, I'm exaggerating, but it's quite off. But again, I still can't in good conscience finish this drawing when I know that to me it feels imbalanced. I don't think it's the best I can output, and I don't want to submit it to them and show them, hey, this is your OC that I drew. It sucks. Like, I know there's a problem to it, so I'm gonna give it to you anyway. So I'm just gonna put this as day 4 of my practice because I do think it's enough for it to count, but I am going to try to redraw this later on, fully line arted with a different pose, and hopefully it feels a little more imbalanced than this specific drawing. But I think that's all I have to say today. It's just a little bit of a rant because I feel like it was a lot easier for me to discuss why I think there's a problem with it. While I have the drawing in front of me where I can move and shift it around. So just for a little bit more detail though, I am going to split the layers up. We're going to split it right now. So I'll show you what my frame looks like. And I think specifically the biggest problem is actually when you add the line art to it. I think it looks off. I don't know why, but it just looks so not balanced. It's just not balanced, especially like when I look at it this way. It feels like this specific chin portion looks very off. Like this here looks flat. I think flat's a good word for it, and I can't explain why I believe it looks flat, but every signal in my brain is telling me, hey, this looks really off. I feel like it might be the mouth, it might be the way the eyes are placed, or it might be the shape of the chin, but something's wrong. And so I think I'm just going to leave it here like I did with the other drawing, leave it at this blue and red stage, and either one, return to it later in a separate video once I've understand why it's bad, or two, redraw it later on to see if I can improve upon it. But regardless, no more of this incoherent rambling where I don't have a real solution or anything to actually say. I do appreciate you guys watching this far and honestly being on this road trip of me rambling and asking for help. But regardless, the video has to end and we're getting to the 5-minute mark. Well, I think we already reached the 5-minute mark. So thank you for sticking with this long. If you can, I would love it if you could subscribe, leave a like or comment. But if you don't want to do any of that, please, I push you to just leave a critique comment where you tell me if the drawing sucks, if you see where it's unbalanced, if you think it's not very good, if you think it is good, because any little bit helps me improve along the way. Anyone's opinion is very well valued. So thank you very much. Thank you for watching. And I just realized, is unbalanced the word, or am I supposed to be saying, I've been saying imbalance and unbalanced, but I think unbalanced is the right word, not imbalance. So sorry, I don't know, I'll Google it. So have a good day, take good care, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow.